Welcome to Everything Fear. Today, I hope you're all feeling groovy because we're going to be doing a franchise ranking for the Evil Dead series. Hello and welcome to Everything Fear, your one-stop shop for all things horror. I'm Kit Tinsley. I'm a horror author, film academic and general horror geek. As I say, today I'm going to be doing a franchise ranking for the Evil Dead franchise. This includes all the movies, the originals and the remake, as well as the television series. So let's get started. Number 5. Ash vs. the Evil Dead. The TV series that ran from 2015 to 2018 was absolutely brilliant overall. The first episode in particular, being written and directed by series creator Sam Raimi, really recaptured the feel of the first few movies. Bruce Campbell is on awesome form as an older and even more begrudgingly heroic Ash. The series was a great addition to the mythos of the Deadites and the Necronomicon. However, there seemed to be a few too many filler episodes for me. These episodes really slowed down the pace of the show. Perhaps they would have been better doing less episodes per season, and then it may have been perfect. On the whole though, the show managed to capture the horror, the humour and the charm of the franchise really well. Number 4. Army of Darkness. The last film in the original trilogy is the weakest of the three, in my opinion. Whilst still a highly entertaining film, I just felt that the humour in this movie became a little too cartoonish, and that the horror really took a back seat. That's not to say that it's a bad film by any stretch of the imagination. It's just the least Evil Dead-like movie in the entire franchise. Bruce Campbell is having great fun playing Ash transported back through time to medieval times. The idea of Ash fighting Deadites in a medieval setting is absolutely brilliant, and it was teased to the audience at the end of Evil Dead 2. The film that it ended up happening in, though, veers far too much into fantasy and adventure and strays a little too far away from horror for my liking. The medieval Dead could have been a lot scarier and a lot weirder to be in keeping with the rest of the series. However, it's still a film I absolutely love though. Number 3. Evil Dead 2013. The 2013 franchise reboot, directed by Fede Alves, is part remake, part sequel. The dynamic of a group of young friends staying in this remote cabin and accidentally summoning the Deadites is a very similar premise to the original movie. However, there are hints within the film that the original movie has happened in this universe, thus making this a sequel. For a start, Ash's car is parked near the cabin. This movie really amps up the blood and gore. Its humour is a lot darker, although still there if you look for it. The cast are really good here as well, in particular Jane Levy, who takes on the role of Mia, a recovering drug addict who has to take on the forces of evil in one of the bloodiest showdowns I've ever seen. There was talk, and still is occasionally, that there would be a crossover movie where Mia from this movie and Ash from the original franchise would team up to fight the Deadites. I would love to see that happen, so fingers crossed for that one. Number 2. The Evil Dead. The original. The one that started it all. A movie that shows that a group of creatives can create a masterpiece with very little money, but a lot of passion. The Evil Dead was unlike anything that had ever been made before. It was inventive, chaotic, funny, and scary. And most importantly, original. The inventiveness of the camera work and the stop motion special effects may seem a little dated and cheesy now, but at the time it was so different that people were completely blown away. It is, without a doubt, a punk horror movie. the same do-it-yourself spirit and convention-defying brashness of many of the punk bands. Interestingly, the film didn't actually do that well on its original release in the USA. It was only when it became a cult hit here in the UK that interest picked up for it in the rest of the world. If you enjoy this video, if you could please subscribe, give us a like, and maybe tickle that bell icon to be notified when we upload future content, that would be great, thank you. Number 1. Evil Dead 2. Dead by Dawn. Made 6 years after the original, Evil Dead 2 is less of a sequel and more of a remake/reboot of the original movie. The first 30 to 40 minutes of the movie are in fact a streamlined remake of the first movie, before moving on to new ground in the second part. This is the point for me where Bruce Campbell really perfected the character of Ash Williams. His performance in this movie is absolutely outstanding. The physicality that he brings to the role. No one has ever beat themselves up on screen quite as well as Bruce Campbell. The budget is much bigger than the original movie. This allows for better special effects and prosthetics. There is a lot more humour in this movie than there was in the first, although it doesn't stop the film from being scary and unsettling. There are some sequences that are just so weird and off-kilter that it becomes really unnerving. The technical inventiveness of the camera work from the original is expanded upon here, making this by far the best part of the franchise. A more polished, but equally passionate piece of horror cinema.
Groovy.
Well, thank you very much for joining me. What is your favourite movie in the Evil Dead franchise? Let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, stay scared and stay tuned.